The wealth illusion. Why looking rich can keep you poor. Imagine walking through an office parking lot on a Monday morning. One employee steps out of a luxury SUV with polished chrome wheels, wearing a designer watch that catches the sunlight. Another parks an aging sedan with faded paint and quietly heads inside carrying a worn backpack. Most people instantly decide who must be wealthier. But what if those first impressions were completely wrong? What if the person driving the expensive SUV has years of loan payments ahead, mounting credit card balances, and constant financial stress? And what if the driver of the old sedan owns multiple investment accounts, has no debt, and could stop working whenever they choose? The surprising truth is that real wealth often hides in plain sight. Many people spend their entire lives trying to appear successful, while the people who achieve lasting financial freedom rarely feel the need to prove anything. They understand a simple principle that changes everything. Money that is invested keeps working for you. Money spent on appearances stops working forever. That difference may seem small today, but over years and decades, it creates two completely different lives. Modern society trains us to believe that success should always be visible. Luxury cars, designer clothes, expensive vacations, the newest phone, the biggest house on the street. Everywhere we look, advertisements encourage us to buy symbols of success instead of building success itself. Social media makes this even more powerful. Open almost any platform and you'll find carefully edited photos of exotic vacations, luxury shopping trips, high-end restaurants, and glamorous lifestyles. What you rarely see are retirement accounts, emergency funds, diversified investments, or years of disciplined saving. Because those things aren't exciting to photograph, real wealth is often invisible. This creates one of the biggest financial illusions in modern life. People begin believing that wealth looks expensive. In reality, wealth often looks ordinary. Think about two different people. The first earns a high salary, but spends nearly everything. Every raise leads to a nicer apartment, a more expensive vehicle, luxury vacations, and constant upgrades. Their income grows. Their lifestyle grows, but their investments barely move. The second person earns a similar income, but quietly invests a large percentage every month. They drive reliable vehicles, avoid unnecessary debt, and upgrade only when something truly adds value. At first, their lives appear similar. 5 years later, the difference becomes noticeable. 10 years later, it's dramatic. 20 years later, they're living completely different realities. One owns impressive possessions. The other owns financial freedom. The hardest part about building wealth isn't understanding math. It's overcoming human psychology. Most financial mistakes aren't caused by lack of intelligence. They're caused by the desire for approval. Human beings naturally compare themselves with others. When someone nearby buys a luxury car, suddenly our own vehicle feels outdated. When a friend posts photos from an expensive vacation, our normal weekend suddenly feels boring. When coworkers upgrade their homes, our perfectly comfortable house somehow starts feeling too small. Nothing about our own lives actually changed. Only the comparison changed. And comparison is expensive. Every unnecessary purchase creates two costs. The first cost is obvious. It's the money leaving your bank account. The second cost is invisible. It's everything that money could have become if it had remained invested. Imagine spending an extra $20,000 upgrading to a luxury vehicle instead of buying a reliable one. Most people only see today's purchase. Successful investors see 20 or 30 years into the future. That same money could have continued growing year after year through compound returns. The purchase ends in one day. The opportunity cost continues for decades. That's why financially disciplined people ask a different question before buying anything expensive. Instead of asking, "Can I afford this?" they ask, "What am I giving up by buying this?" That single question changes everything. Many people believe earning more automatically solves financial problems. Unfortunately, higher income doesn't guarantee wealth. Without disciplined habits, larger paychecks often create larger lifestyles instead of larger investment accounts. Economists sometimes describe this as lifestyle inflation. As income rises, spending quietly rises alongside it. The nicer apartment becomes the normal apartment. The luxury SUV becomes the expected vehicle. Premium subscriptions replace basic ones. Weekend spending increases. Vacations become more extravagant. Soon, even a six-figure income feels barely enough. Not because it isn't enough, because spending expanded to match it. Financial freedom doesn't come from earning more alone. It comes from creating a growing gap between what you earn and what you spend. That gap becomes your future. Here's something interesting. People often assume wealthy individuals constantly buy expensive things. Yet many financially successful people make decisions that seem surprisingly ordinary. They keep working computers longer. They wear clothes until they wear out. They choose reliability over status. They negotiate prices. They compare value instead of chasing prestige. To outsiders, these habits
can appear boring. To investors, they're powerful because every dollar saved isn't simply a dollar saved. It's another employee hired to work inside your investment portfolio. Money invested continues generating more money. Money spent stops working immediately. Understanding this difference transforms everyday decisions. Imagine planting 2 trees. One grows fruit every single year. The other looks beautiful for a short time, but never produces anything. Which tree would you rather own? Investments are fruit trees. Luxury purchases are decorative plants. Both cost money. Only one keeps giving something back. That's why wealthy individuals often focus less on appearances and more on ownership. Instead of asking, how can I look successful? They ask, how can my money produce more money? That mindset quietly separates builders from spenders. There's another hidden advantage to living below your means. It creates options. Imagine waking up tomorrow knowing you could leave a stressful job without panic. Imagine handling an unexpected medical bill without borrowing. Imagine helping family members because you genuinely can, not because you're trying to impress them. Imagine taking time off to learn a new skill or start a business. These opportunities don't appear because someone bought expensive things. They appear because someone built financial flexibility over many years. Freedom rarely arrives suddenly. It grows through thousands of small decisions that nobody notices. Skipping one unnecessary purchase won't change your life. Repeating that decision hundreds of times might. Ironically, people often admire the wrong things. They admire visible spending, but visible spending usually only represents money that's already gone. The truly impressive achievement isn't buying something expensive. It's owning assets that quietly increase in value while you sleep. Those assets don't attract attention. They don't earn compliments from strangers, but they create something much more valuable. Choice. The ability to decide how you spend your time. The ability to protect your family during difficult moments. The ability to retire because you want to, not because your body forces you to. Those benefits never appear in social media photos, but they're worth far more than temporary admiration. The biggest financial secret isn't hidden inside complicated investment strategies. It's hidden inside ordinary daily decisions. Every purchase asks the same question. Do you want to impress today's audience or build tomorrow's freedom? Most people never realize they're answering that question every single day. The people who quietly build wealth understand it perfectly. They don't chase the appearance of success. They build the reality of it. And that reality grows stronger with every passing year. The habits that quietly create millionaires. By now, one thing should be becoming clear. Building wealth isn't about making one perfect financial decision. It's about making hundreds of ordinary decisions that most people overlook. The fascinating part is that these choices rarely look impressive in the moment. Skipping an unnecessary purchase isn't exciting. Choosing to invest instead of splurge doesn't earn applause. Driving a reliable car for another 5 years won't attract attention. But over time, these quiet decisions create extraordinary results. The people who achieve lasting financial freedom understand something that many others never do. Wealth is built in private,
long before it becomes visible in public. Imagine two friends who graduate from college together. Both start earning similar salaries. Both have the same opportunities. During the first few years, their lifestyles look almost identical, but they think differently about money. The first friend celebrates every promotion with a major purchase: a bigger apartment, a newer car, luxury vacations, the latest electronics. Every increase in income becomes permission to spend more. The second friend celebrates promotions differently. Instead of increasing spending, they increase investing. When their salary grows, their monthly investment grows too. Their lifestyle improves gradually, but never faster than their savings. At first, nobody notices the difference. 5 years later, one has impressive possessions. The other has a growing investment portfolio. 10 years later, one depends completely on every paycheck. The other has investments generating income even while sleeping. The gap didn't appear overnight. It grew quietly through consistent habits. One of the greatest advantages wealthy people develop is patience. Modern culture encourages instant gratification. If you want something today, financing makes it possible. Advertisements constantly tell us we deserve immediate rewards. But successful investors often think differently. Instead of asking, how quickly can I buy this? They ask, will buying this move me closer to financial freedom or further away? That small shift in thinking changes almost every spending decision. Patience allows money to stay invested. And invested money has something incredibly powerful working on its side: time.
Albert Einstein reportedly described compound interest as one of the most powerful forces in finance. Whether or not he actually said those exact words, the principle remains true. Compound growth rewards consistency far more than perfection. Imagine planting a single seed. During the first few months, almost nothing appears to happen. Growth seems slow. Progress feels invisible. But beneath the surface, roots are expanding every day. Eventually, the tree begins growing faster. Years later, it produces fruit season after season. Investing works much the same way. The early years often feel disappointing, but eventually, investment returns begin generating returns of their own. That's when wealth starts accelerating. Most people quit before reaching that stage, not because the strategy failed, because the results weren't immediate. Discipline often beats intelligence. Many highly educated professionals earn excellent incomes, yet struggle financially. Meanwhile, people with average salaries quietly accumulate impressive wealth. Why? Because knowledge alone doesn't create financial success. Behavior does. Knowing you should invest is easy. Actually investing every month, even when markets fall, is much harder. Knowing you shouldn't overspend is simple. Walking away from unnecessary purchases requires discipline. Financial freedom isn't won through information. It's won through consistent action. There's another habit that quietly separates wealth builders from everyone else. They avoid trying to impress people. This sounds simple, but it's incredibly difficult. Human beings naturally want approval. We enjoy compliments. We like recognition. There's nothing wrong with that. The problem begins when approval becomes expensive. Buying things primarily to influence other people's opinions creates an endless cycle.
Someone will always own a bigger house, a faster car, a more expensive watch, a more luxurious vacation. Trying to keep up with everyone else is like running on a treadmill. You work harder without actually moving forward. Successful investors eventually step off that treadmill. They stop asking, what will people think? And begin asking, what will this decision mean for my future? That mindset creates remarkable financial clarity. Interestingly, many wealthy individuals spend surprisingly little time thinking about luxury products, not because they dislike nice things, because they understand priorities. Their focus is often on acquiring assets rather than liabilities. Assets generate value. Liabilities usually consume it. Imagine owning a rental property that produces monthly income, or dividend-paying investments that continue growing year after year, or a business that earns money even while you're on vacation. These assets become financial teammates. They continue working long after you've finished your workday.
Expensive possessions rarely do. Most begin losing value the moment you purchase them. Understanding this difference changes the purpose of money itself. Instead of spending money to create appearances, you begin using money to create more money. Another overlooked habit is emotional control. Financial markets rise, financial markets fall. News headlines become dramatic. Friends begin predicting economic disasters. Others claim certain investments will make everyone rich overnight. Emotion spreads quickly. Successful investors learn to slow down. They avoid making major decisions based on fear or excitement. When prices fall, they don't automatically panic. When prices rise rapidly, they don't automatically chase trends. They understand that emotional decisions often become expensive decisions. Calm thinking becomes a financial advantage. Successful wealth builders also appreciate simplicity. They don't constantly search for magical investment secrets. They understand that simple plans, consistently followed, often outperform complicated plans, constantly abandoned. A straightforward investment strategy maintained for decades usually beats an exciting strategy followed for only a few months. This principle applies far beyond investing. Simple budgets, simple financial goals, simple spending rules, simple long-term habits. Complexity often creates confusion. Consistency creates results. Perhaps the greatest advantage of living below your means is something money can't directly buy: peace of mind. Imagine receiving unexpected news, a medical emergency, a job loss, a family crisis. For someone living paycheck to paycheck, these situations become financial disasters. For someone who has quietly built savings and investments, they're still stressful, but manageable. Money can't eliminate every problem, but it can remove many financial ones. Emergency savings become breathing room. Investments become security. Low debt becomes flexibility. These invisible benefits rarely attract attention from others, yet they improve everyday life in countless ways. Think about the difference between appearing wealthy and actually being secure. One creates admiration, the other creates confidence. Admiration depends on other people's opinions. Confidence comes from knowing your finances can withstand uncertainty. One disappears when the luxury car gets
older. The other grows stronger every year your investments continue compounding. This is why financially successful people often appear surprisingly calm during uncertain times. They've spent years preparing for uncertainty. Preparation creates confidence. Confidence reduces fear. Fear no longer controls every financial decision. One of the biggest mistakes people make is assuming wealth is created by dramatic breakthroughs. In reality, wealth usually grows through ordinary repetition. Investing every month, avoiding unnecessary debt, living slightly below your means, increasing savings after every raise, making thoughtful purchases, repeating these habits year after year. None of these actions seem extraordinary. Together, they're life-changing. Think of financial success like building a brick wall. One brick accomplishes almost nothing. 1,000 carefully placed bricks create something incredibly strong. Every smart financial decision is another brick. Eventually, the wall becomes impossible to ignore. The most financially successful people rarely win because they're luckier. They win because they stay in the game longer. They don't allow temporary trends to distract them. They don't constantly restart their financial plans. They remain patient while others become impatient. They remain disciplined while others chase shortcuts. And year after year, those small advantages compound into remarkable results. By the time others notice their wealth, the hardest work has already been completed. It wasn't built through flashy purchases or extraordinary risks. It was built through ordinary habits repeated consistently over decades. The freedom that money can't buy. Imagine waking up tomorrow morning
with one incredible realization. You don't have to panic about your next paycheck. Your bills are covered. Your investments continue growing. Your emergency fund can handle unexpected surprises. You have the freedom to make decisions based on what's best for your life, not what's necessary to survive. This is the true purpose of wealth. Not expensive watches, not luxury cars, not impressing strangers. Freedom. Ironically, the people who enjoy this freedom the most are often the ones who never felt the need to advertise it. Many people spend years chasing a lifestyle they believe represents success. But eventually, they discover something unexpected. Owning expensive things doesn't automatically create peace of mind. A larger house often comes with larger maintenance costs. A luxury vehicle comes with higher insurance, repairs, and constant depreciation. Designer items eventually become outdated as new trends appear. The excitement fades, the bills remain. Real financial confidence comes from something completely different. Knowing that your future is secure. Knowing that unexpected challenges won't destroy years of hard work. Knowing that your money is working even while you're asleep. That kind of confidence can't be purchased overnight. It's built gradually through discipline. One of the greatest hidden benefits of financial independence is the ability to make decisions without fear. Think about how many choices people make simply because they feel trapped. They stay in jobs they dislike. They tolerate unhealthy work environments. They postpone dreams because they can't afford uncertainty. Financial pressure quietly controls their lives. Now, imagine someone with years of
Savings and growing investments. They can negotiate confidently. They can take calculated risks. They can change careers, start a business, take time to learn new skills, spend more time with family. Money doesn't create happiness by itself, but financial freedom creates options, and options often create a happier life. Another advantage of invisible wealth is something many people never consider. It protects relationships. When people believe you're extremely wealthy, expectations often begin to change. Some may assume you should always pay the bill. Others may expect financial help. Business opportunities suddenly appear. Investment guarantees start showing up in your inbox. People begin treating your wallet differently than they treat you. That can make genuine relationships difficult to recognize. When your lifestyle remains simple, people usually connect with your personality, not your possessions. Your friendships develop naturally. Your conversations become more authentic. People appreciate who you are instead of what they believe you own. That's a form of wealth that no investment account can measure. There's also tremendous psychological power in keeping your financial life private. You don't need constant validation. You don't feel pressured to upgrade every year. You don't worry about keeping up with trends. You don't compare your success with someone else's social media highlights. Instead, your attention shifts inward. You begin measuring progress by your own goals. Is your investment portfolio growing? Is your debt decreasing? Is your emergency fund stronger than last year? Are you becoming more financially secure? Those questions matter far more than your exterior status.
More than whether someone else likes your latest purchase. Because financial success is personal. It isn't a competition. Many people underestimate the emotional value of simplicity. Imagine living in a way that requires less maintenance, fewer monthly payments, less financial stress, less pressure to constantly earn more simply to support your lifestyle. A simpler financial life creates mental space. Instead of worrying about bills, you can focus on health, family, learning, travel, meaningful experiences, personal growth. Ironically, owning less often allows people to experience more because they're no longer spending their energy maintaining expensive lifestyles. The most successful investors also understand an important truth about time. Money can often be earned again. Time cannot. Every unnecessary financial burden demands future working hours. Every unnecessary monthly payment represents days, weeks, or months you'll have to continue working. Now imagine reducing those obligations. Every investment moves you one step closer to buying back your time. That's the greatest purchase money can make. Not another luxury item. Freedom over your own schedule. Freedom to decide how your days are spent. When people say they want to become wealthy, this is often what they truly mean. They don't actually want expensive possessions. They want control over their lives. Think back to
two imaginary neighbors. One constantly upgrades everything. Every few years, there's a new luxury car, a larger television, a remodeled kitchen, expensive vacations. Their life looks impressive from the outside. The other neighbor lives more quietly. Reliable transportation, comfortable home, steady investments.
Little unnecessary debt. Nothing about their lifestyle attracts much attention. 25 years later, their futures couldn't look more different. The first neighbor still depends entirely on tomorrow's paycheck. The second neighbor has choices. They can retire earlier, travel when they want, help grandchildren with education, support charities they care about, spend more time with family. The difference wasn't income. It wasn't luck. It was thousands of financial decisions made consistently over many years. One lesson appears repeatedly throughout history. People who build lasting wealth usually focus on ownership rather than appearances. They own investments. They own businesses. They own productive assets. They understand that assets continue producing value long after they're purchased. Status symbols rarely do. This doesn't mean you should never enjoy your money. Financial success isn't about denying yourself forever. It's about building a strong foundation first. There's nothing wrong with buying nice things. The key question is simple. Are your assets paying for your lifestyle, or is your salary paying for everything? When investments begin funding your dreams instead of your paycheck, your relationship with money completely changes. Perhaps the greatest misconception about wealth is that it's measured by visible possessions. In reality, wealth is measured by invisible strength. Strength to handle emergencies, strength to retire comfortably, strength to support loved ones, strength to say no when something doesn't align with your values, strength to make decisions without constant financial fear. Those forms of strength rarely appear in photographs, yet they determine the quality of everyday life. As you move forward, remember this simple principle. Every dollar has a job. You can spend it to impress someone for a moment. Or you can invest it to improve your future for decades. One decision creates temporary attention. The other creates lasting freedom. Every paycheck gives you another opportunity to choose. Not once, not twice. Every single month. Small decisions, repeated consistently, become remarkable results. That's how ordinary people quietly achieve extraordinary financial security. Not through luck, not through secret investment tricks, not through chasing status, but through patience, discipline, and long-term thinking. So, the next time you see someone driving an older car, wearing simple clothes, or living a modest lifestyle, resist the urge to judge their financial success. Appearances reveal very little. Some people spend everything they earn trying to look wealthy. Others quietly build a future that no one else can see. The second path isn't always glamorous. It rarely attracts attention. But it offers something far more valuable than admiration. It offers freedom. Because at the end of the day, true wealth isn't about owning the most expensive things. It's about reaching the point where money no longer controls your decisions. When your investments create security. When your savings create confidence. When your future no longer depends entirely on your next paycheck. That is the moment you've achieved something far greater than looking rich. You've become financially free. And in the end, that's the kind of success that truly matters.